Huh.
All right. This is my, I must have this thing zoomed way in. This is my personal guitar. One I built. It's about 3 years ago. Paduke, carved top. Sapele, white sapele on the back. Tom bridge with the body through. A little extra aluminum bar I designed into that to change my brake angle a little bit right here. And I have a truss rod adjustment right here under that cover. And these are the Planet Waves locking self-trimming tuners. I just noticed a little nick on my peg head I wasn't aware of. Okay. I'm just going to put strings on this thing. I'm not going to bother you with all that, but once I get strings on it, I'm going to oil the board and clean things up in general. I'll sit down and do a little video on that with strings on it and go over some of the features. So yeah, I'll be back. Alright, so these frets are about 3 years old, and you can see pretty good fretwork on the first 3 strings. Oops, I got offline. I'm looking at my finger instead of the camera. So all the way up here around fret 7 even, there's a little bit. And it kind of fades out up around 10. So obviously I play a little heavier down here, but I do get up the neck quite a bit, bend and whatnot, but apparently I don't spend that much time up there. So I do bend in here a lot too. So anyway, I'm not going to mess with these right now. These are the StewMac frets. They're pretty solid frets. I'm not knocking StewMac. It's just I play this I play about twice a week. This is my main guitar. Like I said, I built it for myself. Put my initials, inlay my initials, which are not UP. They're from this direction. They're DN. And so when it's sitting upright, it looks like DN, although probably nobody notices what it is. These are the strings I plan on putting on here, the Slinky Cobalt's 1046, and this is the string I typically use. Now when the Slinkies first came out, I put a set on, but gosh, it's been so long I don't remember what I thought about them. And I just went back to the ones that I just keep stock on these for other guitars. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead clean the body up. I get far enough away from it. And I'm going to oil the board and the back of the neck. The neck on this guitar is laminated. And it's Wenge and mahogany. Wenge maple, and there mahogany, or maple. Anyway, cross there, and then Wenge up on the tips, the wings. Like I said, Planet Waves, the locking self-trimming tuners. And down here to the white sapele. And I just oiled this guitar when I built it. And string 3 ferrules on the back there. Regular jack. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and oil it, string it up, and bring you back. Okay, I keep bringing you in for just little bits here because I know it's just kind of boring to watch every little bit of things, but as I mentioned earlier, these are Planet Waves. They're 18:1 gear ratio, locking and self-trimming, and so I just want to demonstrate that feature on them. So I'm going to zoom in here and I don't know if that light is too light. Too much light? No, that's, I don't know, that's kind of glary. Maybe not at all. No? Well, according to my screen, not at all doesn't work. Let's just, maybe it's just the way my lens is looking. Anyway, I'm gonna stop mumbling. So basically, just goes, you know, through the guitar like normal, either through the back or through the bridge, however your guitar strings. And then it just goes through the hole and pull it. Basically, you can see it's not quite snug. And then as you tighten the thing, it just cuts the string off, just like that. And since it's locked on there, okay. Okay, I ran out, but I wasn't all the way through the tones yet, I don't think. So I was just on the bridge when I ran out. Bridge with it, half coils, or more of your typical single coil, can't speak. Roll. Okay, then on the full humbucker, or excuse me, full P90. I should. You get it. Much more, a lot more bite. Middle position. It's distorting my little amp. And then on the bridge. Bridge with a little tone rolled off, I like that. Okay, so that's kind of what it sounds like. I am playing through a little really old 35 watt Yamaha solid state amp with a blown speaker, so it has a unique sound. But anyway, I just wanted to take a second, since I put a new card in, I can take a second and not race. This has got a pretty deep carve to it. You can see here around the horns there, and then also, you know, along the edge of the body. It's got a good nice carve to it. Anyway, and you know, dished where the switches are at. And on the back, also you can see the horns. They're carved inside. I like to take. I do this on. You know, I've probably done this to some degree on every guitar I've ever built, and that's taking the, you know, reducing the thickness of the body right here, so you don't have a big chunky mess to get your hand around down here. Not that I'm a good enough player to take advantage of it, but I know there's lots of guys that can. Should mention this again. It's got abalone dot fret markers, and then it's got the pearl. If I go the right direction, got the pearl inlay there with my initials, DN. So. That's it. This was 3 guitars ago. I've done a couple Nighthawk body shape copies since then. I should also mention that that's an original peghead design as well. I do not have a straight string pull on this, which I decided I was going to try to do on you know, most of my guitars.
This, however, isn't quite as extreme as a typical Gibson would be. A little more extreme than a PRS. I know they say they have a straight string pull, but they don't. And then, just as a point of reference here, the nut is straight through, and then it bends. It doesn't start bending at the, at the neck, the fretboard side of the nut, like Gibson's file theirs. So I think the tuning stability is better on that sort of thing. So, all right. I don't have a name for this guitar, but it's my personal guitar, and I've been playing it for 3 years now. And I like the P90s a lot. Really like the sound of that. All right, see you guys.